and social challenges posed by the widespread use of gasoline-powered cars remain pressing issues, the development of electric vehicles and new transportation technologies offers hope for a cleaner, more sustainable future. The story of the automobile is a powerful reminder of how technological innovation can transform society. Just as the car revolutionized transportation in the 20th century, emerging technologies like artificial intelligence and autonomous vehicles have the potential to drive the next wave of innovation, creating new opportunities for economic growth and social progress in the 21st century. Chapter 32: The Internet, 1990s, Present, the Global Village. The invention and widespread adoption of the Internet in the 1990s initiated one of the most profound transformations in human history, rivaling the revolutions spurred by the printing press and electricity. The Internet, once the exclusive domain of government agencies, academic institutions, and a handful of private corporations, soon became the cornerstone of modern communication, education, and commerce. Its power to connect people globally, democratize access to information, and break down barriers to knowledge and participation reshaped society in unprecedented ways. From humble beginnings as a research project by the U.S. Department of Defense in the 1960s, the Internet evolved into a global network that today connects more than half of the world's population. The World Wide Web, developed by Tim Berners-Lee in 1989, opened the floodgates for the Internet's widespread use, bringing with it an age of instant communication, online education, e-commerce, and social media. By making information accessible to nearly everyone with an Internet connection, the web changed not only how people interacted with each other, but also how they accessed knowledge, conducted business, and participated in global culture. This chapter explores how the Internet transformed communication, education, and access to information, reshaping societies and economies on a global scale. In the context of this book's overall theme of technology and access, we will examine how the democratization of the Internet parallels historical examples of technological advances, reinforcing the argument that equitable access to technology, including future developments like artificial intelligence, AI, must be treated as a fundamental right to ensure societal progress and individual empowerment. From military project to public utility, the birth of the Internet. The Internet began as a Cold War-era project designed to create a communication network that could withstand nuclear attacks. The U.S. Department of Defense launched the ARPANET in 1969, linking research institutions to share data and resources more efficiently. This decentralized system of networked computers allowed information to travel between nodes, even if parts of the network were damaged. Though initially restricted to government and academic use, ARPANET laid the foundation for the development of what would eventually become the modern Internet. By the 1980s, computer networks were growing, particularly among universities and research institutions. However, it wasn't until the creation of the World Wide Web in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee that the Internet became widely accessible. The web transformed the Internet from a specialized tool for data transfer into a user-friendly public space where individuals could browse and share information. Berners-Lee's invention of hypertext, the clickable links that form the backbone of web navigation, enabled users to move easily between web pages, democratizing access to digital information. By the mid-1990s, the Internet was becoming accessible to everyday users, thanks in part to web browsers like Netscape Navigator and Microsoft Internet Explorer, which simplified the process of navigating the web. The launch of commercial Internet service providers, ISPs, made it possible for individuals and businesses to connect to the Internet, marking the start of the dot-com boom and the beginning of the Internet's journey into nearly every home and business across the globe. The democratization of communication, breaking down barriers. One of the Internet's most profound contributions to society has been its ability to democratize communication. Before the rise of the Internet, communication across long distances was slow, expensive, and often controlled by powerful gatekeepers, such as governments or major media corporations. The Internet, by contrast, allowed individuals to communicate instantly, directly, and globally, without the need for intermediaries. The rise of email in the 1990s gave people a new way to send messages quickly and efficiently, revolutionizing both personal and professional communication. Soon after, the development of instant messaging and social networking platforms such as MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp took this democratization even further. With these tools, people could connect in real time, share ideas and media, and build communities across geographic and cultural boundaries. The democratization of communication also had significant political and social implications. The Internet became a platform for activism, where marginalized voices that had been historically silenced by traditional media could now be heard. Blogs, forums, and social media became spaces for people to share ideas, organize movements, and challenge authority. The Internet played a critical role in events like the Arab Spring, where social media platforms were used to mobilize protests and coordinate actions against oppressive regimes. The Internet's power to facilitate free expression and grassroots movements challenged traditional power structures and gave individuals more control over the information they consumed and shared. It also enabled the rise of alternative media outlets, where independent journalists and bloggers could reach wide audiences without relying on traditional publishing platforms. However, as with previous technological revolutions, the Internet's potential for empowering individuals and promoting freedom has been counterbalanced by efforts to control or restrict access. Governments and corporations alike have sought to regulate, censor, or manipulate online content, raising questions about the future of free speech in a digital world. This ongoing struggle highlights the importance of equitable access to technology as a safeguard for democratic participation and personal freedom. Just as access to the printing press and electricity were once seen as transformative for earlier generations. Education and the Internet, the rise of online learning. The Internet has had a transformative impact on education, making knowledge more accessible than ever before. Prior to the Internet, formal education was largely confined to schools, universities, and libraries, and access to higher education or specialized knowledge was often limited by geographic, financial, or social barriers. The Internet changed this by democratizing access to educational resources, enabling anyone with an Internet connection to learn virtually anything from anywhere in the world. The rise of online courses and e-learning platforms such as Khan Academy, Coursera, edX, and Udemy gave millions of people access to high-quality education that was previously inaccessible. These platforms offered free or low-cost courses on a wide range of subjects, from basic literacy and mathematics to advanced topics in computer science, engineering, and the humanities. Individuals could now learn at their own pace, on their own schedule, and often for a fraction of the cost of traditional education. In addition to formal education platforms, the Internet became a hub for informal learning. Wikipedia, launched in 2001, became the largest and most popular online encyclopedia, allowing people to contribute and access information on nearly any topic. YouTube and other video platforms enabled users to learn practical skills, from cooking and carpentry to coding and graphic design, by watching tutorials and instructional videos. The availability of free, user-generated content empowered millions of people to learn new skills, solve problems, and pursue their personal interests without the need for formal instruction. For marginalized groups, the Internet has been especially transformative. In regions where access to education has been limited by poverty, conflict, or discriminatory policies, the Internet has opened doors to new opportunities. Students in developing countries can now access lectures from top universities, participate in virtual classrooms, and earn credentials that were once out of reach. The internet has made education more inclusive, leveling the playing field and giving individuals the tools they need to improve their lives and contribute to their communities. At the same time, the digital divide, the gap between those with access to the internet and those without, has highlighted the need to ensure equitable access to online education. While the internet has the potential to democratize learning, it can also exacerbate existing inequalities if access to the necessary tools and infrastructure is not universal. This underscores the broader argument that access to technology must be seen as a fundamental right, and ensuring that everyone can benefit from technological advancements, like AI, is essential to achieving a more just and equitable society. The Internet as a marketplace, e-commerce and global business. The Internet not only reshaped communication and education but also revolutionized commerce. The rise of e-commerce fundamentally changed how people buy and sell goods and services, breaking down barriers to entry for businesses and opening up global markets for consumers. In the early days of the Internet, companies like Amazon, founded in 1994, and eBay, founded in 1995, were pioneers in the e-commerce space. These platforms made it possible for individuals to purchase goods online and have them delivered directly to their homes, eliminating the need to visit brick-and-mortar stores. Over time, e-commerce expanded to include everything from clothing and electronics to groceries and digital goods, transforming the retail landscape and changing consumer habits. For businesses, the Internet offered new opportunities to reach a global audience. Small businesses and entrepreneurs could now sell their products to customers around the world, bypassing traditional distribution networks and reducing the costs associated with physical storefronts. The rise of platforms like Shopify, Etsy, and Alibaba further democratized the marketplace, allowing independent sellers to compete with established retailers on a global scale. The Internet also reshaped industries like banking, advertising, and entertainment. The rise of digital payment systems, such as PayPal and later cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, enabled seamless financial transactions across borders, further integrating the global economy. At the same time, online advertising through platforms like Google and Facebook revolutionized marketing, allowing businesses to target specific audiences with unprecedented precision. The economic impact of e-commerce has been immense, contributing trillions of dollars to the global economy and creating millions of jobs in fields such as logistics, software development, and digital marketing. However, like previous technological advancements, the rise of e-commerce has also raised questions about inequality, as large corporations like Amazon have grown to dominate the marketplace, often at the expense of smaller businesses and local economies. As we consider the future of the Internet, particularly in the context of the rise of artificial intelligence, it's important to recognize that ensuring fair competition and equitable access to digital tools and markets will be critical to maintaining the Internet's role as a democratizing force. The Internet as a cultural force, empowering communities and individuals. Beyond its economic and educational impacts, the Internet has also become a powerful cultural force, reshaping how people create, share, and experience media. In the pre-Internet era, the production and distribution of culture, whether music, film, literature, or news, was largely controlled by a few powerful industries and gatekeepers. The Internet changed this dynamic by empowering individuals and communities to create and distribute their own content, bypassing traditional gatekeepers and reaching global audiences. The rise of social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok enabled ordinary people to become creators, sharing their talents, opinions, and stories with the world. This shift democratized content creation, giving rise to new forms of digital storytelling, user-generated media, and influencer culture. Musicians, filmmakers, artists, and writers, who might never have been discovered by traditional industries, were able to build their own followings online, reshaping the landscape of entertainment and culture. At the same time, the internet fostered the growth of online communities where people could come together around shared interests, causes, and identities. Forums, discussion groups, and social networks provided spaces for people to connect, collaborate, and organize, often across borders and cultural divides. These communities gave rise to movements that challenged traditional power structures and created new possibilities for social and political activism. The Internet's ability to empower individuals and amplify marginalized voices has been one of its most significant contributions to modern society. However, the Internet has also been a battleground for issues such as misinformation, online harassment, and privacy, raising questions about how to ensure that it remains a force for good while addressing its darker consequences. The digital divide and the importance of equitable access. Despite the Internet's enormous potential to democratize access to knowledge, communication, and economic opportunities, not everyone has benefited equally. The digital divide, the gap between those with access to digital technologies and those without, remains a major challenge, particularly in developing countries and rural areas. In regions where access to high-speed internet is limited, individuals and communities are often left behind, unable to take advantage of the internet's transformative potential. Ensuring equitable access to the internet has become a critical priority for governments, non-profits, and international organizations. Access to reliable, affordable internet is increasingly seen as a basic human right, essential for participating in the modern world. The COVID-19 pandemic, which forced much of the world's education, work, and communication online, highlighted the urgent need to close the digital divide and ensure that everyone can benefit from the opportunities the internet provides. In the context of this book's overarching theme, arguing for artificial intelligence as a human right, the democratization of the internet provides a powerful precedent. Just as ensuring widespread access to the internet has become a vital goal, so too must we strive to make future technologies like AI available to all. As AI becomes increasingly integrated into our daily lives, it will be crucial to ensure that access to AI tools and resources is equitable, so that they can be used to uplift and empower communities around the world, rather than reinforce existing inequalities. Conclusion. The Internet has transformed the world in ways that few could have predicted when it first became widely available in the 1990s. By democratizing communication, education, and commerce, the Internet has broken down barriers and connected people across the globe, creating a global village where knowledge, ideas, and culture can be shared freely and instantly. Its impact on society has been profound, reshaping industries, empowering individuals, and opening up new opportunities